sticking with this NFL draft, I told y'all it was spicy, extra spicy. Got everybody talking, everybody saying stuff. Okay. If you missed it, Shannon Sharpe came out and said he disagreed with his homeboy Deion Sanders. Uh, when Prime said that it was basically shameful that only one player from the HBCU got drafted, and that was Isaiah Bowden, Jack State University. Okay. Shannon Sharpe said he disagreed with that. Basically was saying if they were good enough, they would have got drafted, and the NFL doesn't care anything about that. The NFL will find you wherever you are as long as you can play. The NFL will put you out there. They don't care about nothing but whether you can help them win games. Okay. Colin Kaepernick comes to mind, but I digress. I digress. But let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. Before we do though, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing to do that. All right. I am your homeboy Ferg. This is the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on something. Okay. Again, make sure you put all your people on it. All right. Put me in all those group texts, Facebook groups, wherever you share stuff. Share it right now. All right. But yeah, Shannon Sharpe basically said the NFL ain't like that. The NFL just want to win, all that kind of stuff. Okay. I hear that. I hear that. But there was some other things he said that I want to highlight too. Okay. Uh, first off, before I move to that, I don't want to digress from the Colin Kaepernick point because I think that's important. If the NFL only cared about folks being able to help them win, they wouldn't have blackballed Colin Kaepernick. Okay. So there are instances now that the NFL will bring politics into shit and bring their public perception in terms of who they really care about, which is the white male. They want to keep the white male fan base. You know what I'm talking about? So if something going to affect that, they do care. All right, but that's an aside. That's an aside. Uh, but in terms of his remarks about PWIs versus HBCUs, uh, basically he kept bringing up the facilities again, and he brought up how back in the day, people from Jack State, Grambling, and all these type of players they were getting drafted left and right. I made the same case last week when I talked to y'all about Brown v. Board of Education and how it helped the SEC and hurt HBCUs. Go check that out if you missed it. But he talked about PWIs having all these facilities and all of this, all of that, having a coach for every position, the outside linebacker coach, inside linebacker coach, this coach, all that kind of stuff. And it's coming off like he's saying the PWIs are just better than HBCUs because he made the point of HBCUs just don't have this. They just don't have that. You might have one guy who coaching this, that, and the third, and he might have to teach a class. But here's the thing. None of that shit that the PWIs got matters. I don't give a fuck how many coaches you got. If a motherfucker can't play, he can't play. It's only so much you can do to grow a player. And the great coaches do. I consider myself a great coach, okay? On the high school level, I consider myself a great coach. I've grown players, but there's only so much you can do to grow a player. They got to have some natural ability. And I told you my excellence formula that I developed. Ability plus effort equals excellence. You can have all the motherfucking, you can put forth all the effort you want, but your ass ain't got some God-given ability. This shit is not going to work now. You got to have all of that formulas to make this shit work. You do. So, yeah, you got 80,000 seat stadiums, or hell, Michigan got what, over 100,000. Ohio State over 100,000. You got all this kind of shit. You got state of the art training facilities and all this kind of shit. Man, if somebody trash, they trash though. That's just real. You know how I know that? I've said it before. Look at the high school level. Look at the high school level. If all that shit mattered, if having all these resources is what truly made a great ball player and set that ball player up for the next level, then places like Holmes County, Mississippi would never have any kids go get signed to play college football or college basketball. Holmes County, Mississippi is one of the poorest counties in all of America. I know about it because this county is dear to me. It helped shape me. I taught there 4 years. In one of my businesses, now I frequent Holmes County, Mississippi. Some of my greatest pupils come from there. But it's a place of immense financial struggle. But when it comes to athletics, it's some straight dogs come out of there. So much so that Nick Saban was just up there this school term trying to get him a boy. Oh, but they ain't got none of that shit. They ain't got none of these facilities and all this shit. They ain't got none of that shit. They got a good coaching staff. Shout out to Coach Roger. They got a weight room. They got a field. They got pads. All you fucking need. I was up there one day. The track team was practicing. They ain't got no goddamn track. They started running in the parking lot, went on out there to the street in front of the school and came on back around. And they were working. They were working, Jack. Facilities, though. Take Yazoo City. Another underprivileged environment here in the state of Mississippi. Yazoo City produced first ballot Hall of Famer in Fletcher Cox. First ballot in my book. Went from there to Mississippi State. With Mississippi State, Philadelphia Eagles. He's Super Bowl champion. First ballot Hall of Fame in my book. His city is a city of fucking struggle. They be having some dogs in that bitch. Their high school basketball team just finished the year as the number one ranked team in the whole fucking state. But I thought it was about the facility. If it's all about that, then shouldn't the affluent schools be doing all that? From where I'm from in Mississippi, Madison is the place with money. DeSoto County, Mississippi got money. Down on the coast got money. But them boys from Yazoo City kick all them boys' ass. But it's the facilities, it's the resource, all this stuff to make a ball player. Bullshit. Take where I'm from, Canton, Mississippi. Historically a city of struggle. We got a boy named Damian Lewis. Played for LSU on that national championship team with Joe Burrow. You go run the tape back. You're going to see a young king from Canton, Mississippi right there next to Joe Burrow. He was a starter on their offensive line. Now he plays for the Seattle Seahawks. If it's just the resources that make everything, then goddamn, that boy ain't come from no resources like that for real. And I'm just naming these folks from my own personal experience. Y'all know when y'all hear these player stories, what kind of neighborhoods they are coming from. So y'all already know what kind of K-12 environments they're coming from. But still, Alabama and LSU and Georgia and all these goddamn programs come and recruit them. So if they're good enough to come from these impoverished areas and then go into college football and kick ass, why in the hell can't a kid go to a HBCU, not have all the glitz and glamour, but the thought be that the thought is, I should say, that if a kid does that, they're not going to be prepped for the pros because they're not going to get the proper coaching. They're not going to get the proper nutrition. Man, bullshit. It's like people are contradicting themselves with this shit. If you just said that back in the 60s and 70s, these guys were getting drafted out of the HBCU, the wealth disparity was there then too. And they still were going right on to that league and kicking ass. So it's not that Alabama's facilities makes better ball players, or Georgia's facilities make better ball players, or everybody having a coach, their own personal coach, or the D-line coach, or this side, or all that. That ain't what these boys good. God gave them natural ability. They gave them the size, the speed, the attitude, everything like that to go get a job done. That's what it is. If them guys, if let's say you resegregated the country right now, and these motherfuckers just magically start going back to HBCU, they still gonna get drafted in the NFL. Keep the facilities the way they are, they gonna get drafted in the NFL. Come on, man. I'm tired of hearing this facilities shit. I'm tired of hearing it. I just really am. The only thing you can give me is that because of systemic racial discrimination, white folk got way more money than black people. And therefore, white boosters at these schools back in the day, once the school started to integrate, they can start sliding money up on the table. They can start buying mama a home and buying these motherfuckers cars and all that kind of shit. And then nine is NIL. They can start giving these motherfuckers millions of dollars in NIL money. That's it. And the young black man and his family can't turn it down. That's just it right there. Stop talking about these fucking facilities and everybody got a coach and training staff and all. Fuck all that. It's these kids are getting paid. Legally and illegally getting paid. And that's why they going to these schools. It ain't just because they want to play in front of 60, 70,000 and I want to be on TV. They want to do all that. These motherfuckers want some money. And these boosters giving it to them. They're giving it to them. So just stop with the false narratives, man. Please. When y'all hear these motherfuckers with these false narratives, cut that shit off. Cut them off. These folks just talking. They know damn well that shit ain't what matters. That ain't what makes a ball player. Again, for a football player, give them a bench press, a squat rack, somewhere to run. Give them some pads and a helmet. And they're going to be all right. They're going to be all right. That's what many of these high school programs got. And they be kicking ass. Especially if I talk about basketball. That same Holmes County that I mentioned, they didn't win this year. But the year before that, championship. The year before that, championship. The high school where I won my 2 championships. Title I school. Come on, man. Stop this bullshit. These boys coming, especially, let's look at basketball. These boys come from the hood in basketball, but then they be good enough to skip college, go straight to the pro like LeBron James, or now to be one and done. How much development do you think a motherfucker like Coach Calipari at Kentucky doing in 6 months with these boys? Now these boys just already cold coming out of these hoods they're coming from. Spending 6 months at University of Kentucky ain't make none of these boys what they are. They just were like that. So stop the cap with these facilities and the coaching and nutrition, all that shit. These motherfuckers got money and they giving it to these guys. That's what it is. So they going to keep getting them until we as black people have at least some of us that say, fuck y'all money, I'm all right, I'm going to go over here and I'm still going to get to the league. And then those black people who already got the money, I'm going to talk about this a little more later, but those black people who already got the money, like a Shannon Sharpe, needs to be a damn booster. I wonder how many recruits Shannon Sharpe then bought for Savannah State. If you're a real one, you go to Savannah State, talk to me. Tell me, what's the word on Shannon Sharpe dropping bags to get y'all a 4 or 5 star? Because see, our rich folk ain't doing that for some reason. That's what the PWI rich folk doing. They dropping bags to get the guys that they want to make their institutions win. Meanwhile, our rich folk just, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to talk more about that in a minute when I talk about Dave Bryant, but I just wanted to point that out. Y'all young ballers out there, don't let this shit fool you. That shit is not substantive. It's not. You fall for them bells and whistles if your motherfucking ass want to. Yeah, gonna be left out high and dry. Find your school with some substance. Put it on something.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?